Now, JMac and the Bear.
All right. Good morning to the Merrimack Valley. The Sons of Liberty have fired their rifles off the roof here at WCAP, and we welcome you to the best hour in radio, the JMac and the Bear Show. The JMac and the Bear Show is brought to you by Sal's Pizza, Salvatore's Restaurants, and Riverwalk Properties. I'm John McDonald, along with The Bear, my co-host, George Zaharoulis. I encourage you to call in at 978-454-4980 and talk to us live on WCAP 980 AM, where everybody gets it. I'd also like to welcome our frequent companion and all that represents Zen in our universe, Stacy, the radio goddess. Welcome, Stacy.
Thank you, John.
Good morning, The Bear.
Good morning, John. Today is our second show, a show where week to week we will discuss everything from Lowell to national politics to what's on first with the Boston Red Sox. Dennis, what happened? 88 to 87.
Well, like George said, today's our second show, and let's get right into it. It's time to develop some interesting discussion as we get started with this morning in our regular segment of Who or What is Poking the Bear.
John, today I'd like to talk about the welfare benefit audit that was called for by Senator Bador. It's about time that action is taken to look into the welfare system. Senator Bador wrote to and contacted the state auditor, Susan Bump, to request the audit of the system. Senator Bador's investigations has found disturbing statistics about per capita distribution of welfare benefits. An example of the distribution of benefits are the Bay State's population of more than 6 million, but handouts federal government benefits to 99,000 recipients per month. Yes, 99,000 per month. Florida has a population 3 times larger with a higher poverty rate, provides about 101,000 per month, just 2,000 more than Massachusetts. Texas provides about 114,000 people per month with 4 times the population, only 5,000 more. Do you know who that, or have you seen someone using the benefit card to purchase something and then asking cash back? That's your tax dollar being misused. This is my opinion. It's about time to get our hands on this, and support the senator. Call your representatives in both houses to support, help, and move this reform forward, and to get an accountability for the expenditure of public funds. Our state auditor, Susan Bump, is just the person to look into this and report the facts. The senator recognizes the importance of providing assistance to children, single-parent families, the homeless, and the elderly. We must protect genuine recipients and the taxpayers from people who abuse the system. The other item that is very meaningful is to require recipients to pay for and pass a drug test as well as being legal before receiving benefits. Let us know how you feel. Call WCAP wherever everyone gets it.
That's right. Feel free. Anyone listening, please call us at WCAP 980 to the JMac and the Bear Show at 978-454-4980 as we anxiously await the senator to give us a call. Stacey, what do you think about all this? What's on your mind with this reform bill? I mean, it can't be a bad thing, right, George?
No,
it can't be a bad thing.
Not.
Actually, Senator Bador was first elected January of 2002. Since then, he's worked to generate reform, protect vital services, and safeguard the interests of his constituents in the 1st Essex District, which includes Amesbury, Haverhill, Merrimack.
Okay, well, as we interrupt you, George, I apologize. We've got a very special guest, and we've been anxiously awaiting his arrival. In my opinion, one of the best state senators in the state of Massachusetts. Welcome to the JMac and the Bear Show, Senator Bador.
Hey, it's great to be anxiously awaiting. I don't think anybody's anxiously await for me, but I appreciate it.
Welcome.
So,
How you guys doing?
we're doing great, and again, welcome to the show. The subject of your initiative here to really reform welfare in the state, it really caught our eye, and we're anxious to hear what your thoughts are on this.
Right. No, I think it's caught the eye of a lot of people. I can't go anywhere, whether I'm with my family, kids, it doesn't matter. People are coming up to me because people have seen it. They've witnessed sort of the welfare abuse firsthand, whether it's at Market Basket, at a convenience store, wherever it may be. And people are fed up with it. And it's time that we've reformed so much in state government, and this is an area that I think everybody knows needs to be reformed, but for whatever reasons have been sort of uncomfortable addressing it. And the time is coming, and that's why we filed the bill, and it's getting some great attention. It's also getting, I'm getting knocked around a little bit up at the State House, but that's all right. We'll take the hits.
Well, I think you're man enough to handle it. You've certainly demonstrated that in the past. I think, the one thing that's certainly interesting that caught my eye is your initiative to get a mandatory drug test to go along with some of this, and I think that's long overdue.
It is, and it's not. I mean, I've tried to make this point. I mean, I said someone in Boston say that I'm doing this because I hate the poor, and I said, "Are you kidding me? This isn't about hating anyone. This is about helping people. If you have a drug problem and you're receiving benefits, it's the kids that are suffering because that money's not going to where it belongs. And it's about trying to help people. We have great programs in Massachusetts for those who are addicted to alcohol and drugs, and it's transitional assistance. Let's get people off of it and give them the help they need.
I recall back in the days of the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina, and some of these assistance cards, these electronic debit cards that were given out to people and were used for buying lottery tickets and drugs, and not drugs, but alcohol and lottery tickets and so on and so forth. And I found that interesting that this was part of your initiative as well, as to put penalties to the actual stores that accept these EBT cards for the purchase of these products.
Sure, it's both to penalize the person who's doing it and the store owners, because the store owners know, or they should know, the law relative to the EBT cards. And look, you're never going to be able to sort of get 100% fraud-free. There's always going to be fraud in the system, whether it's public or private. But we need to actually engage in trying to eliminate fraud. And I don't think we've done much in Massachusetts over the last 10 years to really go after it. And I mean, I was at a CVS up in Methuen not too long ago, and someone said to me, they gave the example of someone coming in with an EBT card. They know it's illegal to purchase lottery tickets, alcohol, and other things with the EBT card. But what they did is they bought a single piece of candy for a quarter, demanded all the rest of the cash back on the card, and then went out and bought cigarettes and alcohol with it. So we need to close those loopholes. People, whether we like it or not, are going to try to take advantage of a system, and we shouldn't make it easy. We should make it difficult for people who are going to take advantage of it.
Well, what about illegal immigrants? You think they should be in on this system?
No, they're not. They should not be receiving it. We should be checking status for illegal immigration. Look, my position on that. We've gone pretty aggressively at the issue of illegal immigration. The feds need to step up and get beyond the bickering and actually do something about it. But no one should be receiving state benefits if they're here illegally.
What is your next step in pushing this forward?
I've been meeting with members, trying to sort of educate them that this isn't about attacking the poor, as some want to suggest. I've had some great meetings with Auditor Bump in her office. So we're going to continue the dialogue in terms of trying to figure out the type of audit that we're looking for, because I'd like to see the auditor audit the delivery system, the welfare system, to make sure that the Department of Transitional Assistance is actually conducting the right background checks, that they're doing the appropriate background on people, so that the people who are getting it actually need it, as opposed to those who want to abuse it. I've had with the Secretary of Health and Human Services, so I've been working with her as well as the Commissioner of the department, and working with others. We're going to keep the pressure on all of us, on government, to actually do something in this area.
What do you think the area citizens should do? You think they should try to put some pressure on their representatives, or would it be futile to do that with your efforts?
Yeah, we're there to hear from our constituents. So no, I would encourage people to call their rep, call their senator. I mean, we get a lot of the negative, so people aren't afraid to call and sort of blast us on issues. Sometimes it's nice to get phone calls saying, "Hey, this is a good idea. You should support this." And I'll tell you, my email has been burning up with. It's interesting. When I'm in the Merrimack Valley, I think 9 out of 10 are supportive of the proposal, the whole proposal. In Boston, it's like you're living in a different world. The comments you get back from people, they even question whether or not there's actually welfare fraud. And I'm like, geez, come spend one day with me in the Merrimack Valley. We'll go to a couple of different places. I'll show you how rampant it is.
Well, it's great. I started out to list the towns in your area, cities and towns. I'd like to go through that one more time. Amesbury, Haverhill, Merrimack, Methuen, Newburyport, North Andover, and Salisbury. You got it.
Well, Senator, I really appreciate your time here on this issue. Just one real quick question before we let you go and we take some phone calls on the subject. How's the governor been? Has he been supportive of this initiative? Have you had any discussions?
Look, I've had some great conversations with the governor's chief of staff and their policy folks. We're always going to have some disagreements on parts of it. But the governor, to his credit, in his budget, added, I want to say, roughly $400,000 for fraud investigators under BSI, which falls under the auditor's office. So I think the governor recognizes that it's an area that we need to be looking more closely at. The question is going to be, obviously, as we move forward with the legislation, how aggressive do we get? Now, there's a commission that's been established in the legislature to look at EBT fraud. That's a good thing. Senator Tarr and I, Bruce is the Republican minority leader, will be sending a letter to the governor and to the respective leaders to ensure that they're appointing their members and that the members get going in terms of looking at ways of tightening up the EBT card problem. Because, look, at the minimum, there should be a photo ID on your EBT card, and that will eliminate a lot of the fraud that goes on right now.
That's a good idea.
Absolutely. Well, Senator, we really appreciate it. And before I let you go, I would be remiss if I didn't say hello to you on behalf of my boss and our mutual good friend Sal Lopoli. So you have a wonderful day.
Yeah, you too. Tell Sal he's doing great. Tell him I said hi as well.
I definitely will. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank Senator Baddour for being on the radio today. That his portion was brought to you by Pentucket Medical Associates, located at 500 Merrimack Street in Lawrence, Mass. Quality health care and convenient, timely service located at Riverwalk Properties in Lawrence, Mass. Check them out. I believe wireless. We've got a caller. John from Lowell is online.
John is on the line.
John, welcome to the JMac and the Bear Show.
Oh, good morning, JMac and Bear. I just want to comment on Senator Baddour's reform bill. I got to tell you, I'm not too optimistic that it's going to pass, and the reason is it makes too much sense.
You're right.
Well, it seems to be a killer up there on the hill. But well, we're optimistic, and I think that the way anything generally gets passed is if they experience a lot of emails, phone calls, letters, so on and so forth. So I think this is one issue that people are really behind because of the times that we're in. Not that we're not aware of these things when the times are good, but it makes it all that much more of a hot-button issue when we've got the recession that we've got and everything else. So we're hoping that this takes root and some of these reforms take place.
Yeah, John, it's all up to us. We have to go forward and pick up the mantle so that we can kind of help Senator Baddour out and his constituents.
Well, I agree, but I'm saying Massachusetts being Massachusetts, it just makes too much sense, this bill. It should be cut and dry. That should pass without I can't imagine anybody opposing, but you just watch how that vote goes, and then maybe we'll talk a month or two from now. But I got to tell you one more thing. I'm a little disturbed with what he just said about it. Somebody providing an EBT card and buying a 25-cent piece of candy and then getting cash back. I never heard of that. If that's true, they better tighten that one up right there. If that's not, if that doesn't invite fraud, I don't know what does. I mean, I don't know how to fix this system. But my God, if that's true and you can get cash back on that card, that's usually I'm not.